Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. McCormick, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for being here, Deputy Secretary. As you know, the Abilene Christian University is partnering with other universities, including Georgia Tech, to develop Next Lab Nuclear Research Center, which serves as the home of the Molten Salt Research Reactor called MSRR. The Molten Salt Research Reactor will serve as a test bed for nuclear reactor design that could be used to help safely address critical needs for energy, water, and medical isotopes. In October 2023, I joined my colleagues in sending a letter to your boss urging the DOE to treat MSRR project at the ACU consistently with all the other university research reactors and provide the HALEU, I think it's pronounced, uranium fuel in a timely manner. Yet, to my understanding, the fuel still has not been provided. This is unacceptable. If we're going to get this research done, which we partnered with private industry, we said, look, if you guys provide funding for this, we'll provide the fuel for it. We're talking about a clean energy source. We talk about how important it is to reduce carbon imprint. This is something I don't understand. Can you tell me why it's been delayed for over a year?
Yeah, and thanks for your leadership on this. This is an incredibly exciting area of research, but also commercial opportunity as we think about where we're going to get our electrons, our clean electrons in the future. We just got an additional amount of funding repurposed from Congress, $2.8 billion, to work on our supply chains, not just for HALEU, but for also low-enriched uranium, which is what goes into conventional. We are executing on that right now. I'm happy to get the particulars on that. Our goal is to make sure that those who want HALEU have the available HALEU when they need it, but happy to get into the particulars that you mentioned. I don't have that information right offhand on that, but happy to follow up with you and your staff.
It really bums me out because we sent out the letter a while ago and we promised this. We fund it, and yet people are basically funded to sit around and do nothing because they don't have the fuel that we promised them as our partner. That you don't have the details really disappoints me, I got to tell you.
And just to be clear, if I could, the $2.8 billion was quite recent that Congress just gave us that funding. So that is a huge amount of money. That's the most money we've ever had to work on HALEU and work on low-enriched uranium as well. And obviously, we're trying to work on that as quickly as we possibly can.
Okay, I hope we have a timeline set before us in an expedient manner. Because it seems like on one hand we tout the necessity for electric vehicles, for electric trains now, which I think is insane, and AI supercenters, which we know is going to increase the energy requirements by all states. Georgia is one of the few, actually the only state in the last 20 years to come up with nuclear power plants. We're not doing it efficiently. We're still overregulated. We're doing it slowly and very expensively. And I think that this research is exceptionally important to the future of energy production. One of the things I thought also, this administration had continued the rhetoric on all this energy production, this clean energy, by the way. Now, I don't know what your opinion is. Do you think that nuclear power is in any way inferior in capacity or generation for energy, clean energy, than any other source, whether it be solar or wind or hydro or anything else like that?
So I think nuclear plays an incredibly important role right now. It's 20% of our electricity production and a huge percentage of our clean carbon-free electricity production right now. And we're investing an awful lot of money, thanks to Congress's leadership and partnership, to make sure that we're not only advancing existing reactors. You mentioned the reactor Vogtle in Georgia that just came online. That's the first big reactor that we've had in our country for quite some time. We're investing a lot in the reactors of the future, the small modular reactors. And I view that as an incredibly powerful tool in our tool belt to accelerate our clean energy development more generally.
So you talk about accelerate. I'm gonna focus on that because I have 1 minute left. Accelerating any program. This is what frustrates me with the way that we're focusing, and this is why I'm really disappointed that we promised people something for an investment without having the government side tied away. It's not entirely your fault, but it's the government's fault for sure. This administration, though, did have this rhetoric about this incredible investment in superstructure to, for example, the EV charging stations, which are now infamous. $7.5 billion in federal programs buried inside a 2021 infrastructure bill promised 500,000 EV charging stations across the country. As you know, right now, so far, we've had a grand total of, I know everybody's excited about this, right? 8 stations produced with billions of dollars on the table and a big promise for $500,000. I don't understand why we're slow rolling. I hope we can streamline the process because we need some things done in a timely manner and efficient. Get rid of the red tape that's holding us back, and let's get to work. Thanks.
Gentleman's time has expired.